This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Well, I remember the day. Wayne Brown, God rest his soul, he came into the he came into the studio. He's like, hey guys, after the show, we need to see you. Griff ass. That means we get fired, y'all. We get fired today, y'all. We get fired today. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Yeah. Oh. He's like, I'm telling you, this is what they did when they did this at V103. This is when I got fired from V. I'm telling you. Man, he was so right. That day, it was a whole shakeup in the radio station. We got replaced with Rickey Smiley. A couple of people from the show got let go. I got moved to middays, and that was horrible. I never ran my own boards. Like Akini ran my boards, so I had to learn how to run my board. I had to learn how to run my boards. It was awful.
Before podcasts, before influencers, before everybody had a mic and a platform, Atlanta already had voices that moved the culture. And one of the most respected, Rashan Ali. Straight out of Decatur, repping the east side of Atlanta with pride, Rashan built her name the real way, through the grind. From the morning show airwaves to the television screen, her voice and presence became part of everyday life in the city. For years, ATLians woke up to her voice, laughed with her, learned from her, and watched her grow right alongside the culture. But Rashan was never just a radio personality. She evolved into a media powerhouse, hosting, producing, moderating conversations, building platforms, and constantly pushing Atlanta stories forward. In sports, entertainment, culture, and community, her fingerprints are everywhere. She represents something Atlanta respects: consistency, professionalism, and authenticity. A true East Side original who never forgot where she came from, but used her platform to lift the whole city with her. Voice of the people, connector of the culture, a woman who turned media into influence. This is Black excellence. This is Rashan Ali. Now that's Atlanta culture.
Back at you with another episode of Atlanta Coaches Podcast with your host, me, Moss B. I got a very special guest with me today from the East Side, Rashan Ali. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Awesome, man. You're looking good today.
Well, I'm trying to keep it together.
Yeah, man. How was your week this week?
It's been good.
It's been good.
The week been good. Cool. Just navigating like everybody else.
I got you, man.
Just trying to find a positive in everything. At the very least.
That can be tough these days.
It can be, but I'm gonna try.
That's good.
Every time.
Good. Well, shit, this is the Atlanta Coaches Podcast, so let's jump straight into some Atlanta shit.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
So what hospital were you born in?
Crawford Long, better known as Emory Midtown now. So I was born at Crawford Long, and I actually had both of my children at the same place where I was birthed. So, it felt connected. Okay. Crawford Long.
So what high school did you attend?
Southwest DeKalb High School in Decatur, Georgia. So I feel like I get the best of both worlds because I was born in Atlanta and raised in Decatur. So I get the best of both worlds.
Well, we're sorry to hear that you went to Southwest DeKalb. Being a Columbia High School graduate, that's 1 hour ride. We're sorry to hear that.
I was supposed to go to Columbia.
You probably should have
address-wise. But I'm the daughter of a legend, so I followed the legend.
Yeah, I know Coach was over there.
Yes.
So if you had to claim a hood, what hood would you claim?
East Side.
East Side?
Yeah.
Any specific place in East Side?
Spring Valley.
Spring Valley. That's what I like to hear. The neighborhood.
The neighborhood. My parents still live in Spring Valley.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and set the show up. Mm-hmm. Let the folks know how you supposed to say Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta.
One more time?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I do it right?
I guess you left some letters off, but
right.
That's cool.
ATL or the A.
That's it. I ain't mad at all, man.
Atlanta.
So take us back being that little girl from Decatur, man. Mm-hmm. So what was your dreams and what inspired you to become the legend that you are today?
Well, thank you so much for calling me a legend. I appreciate that. I mean, I think at the age of 3, I knew I wanted to be in front of somebody's camera. I wanted to be holding a microphone, whether it was, radio, television, acting. Like I always was that person or that child. Like, watch Rashan, she'll perform. So my parents got me into the closest thing to acting that they probably knew at the time, which is dancing, jazz, tapping, ballet, and all that. But I was a super athlete as well. But I think that just knowing that I wanted to be in front of the camera just kind of drove that throughout my entire life, from being in elementary school plays at Southwest DeKalb, and then trying to figure out what that looked like after high school, which led me into a career in journalism, or getting my degree in broadcast journalism. So I think my mom taught me how to trying to be a theater major, because back then, like, what is theater? What is that? Yeah,
where you gonna make some money in that?
Yeah, it's always about the money, especially for parents that from that generation. Like, what are you gonna do to generate money? So that creative, taking that creativity to the next level probably just didn't register with them then. So it needed to be something a little bit more concrete. But I'm just so glad that I was even able to cultivate, those types of desires with my journalism degree, and still continuing to do the things that I wanted to do and land the places that I wanted to land with the grace of God. So,
awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah.
So before you was a media personality, you was over at LaFace with TLC.
Yeah.
Tell us what that was like.
So when I graduated from FAMU, I wanted to go to film school, got into American University. Mama told me I couldn't go. I'm not telling her story behind her back. She said I couldn't go. So I trying to figure out my life. And so I ended up becoming Left Eye's personal assistant.
Okay.
Before I became video production assistant at LaFace Records. So I was able to kind of be introduced to that world before I went to the label. So it was an incredible experience being her assistant and then going to the label after that. So yeah, it was just it was life-changing.
I'm about to ask you, man, give me a good Left Eye story.
Oh, man. Lisa was one of the most, as people know, one of the most talented people that ever graced this earth, I would say. One of the, just kind, I think she was literally out of this world. Like, I've never met anybody like her. But I think, she told me two things. She said, Rashan, you're going to be a star once you figure out what you want to do. She said that. And another thing, when I first started working with her, she was like, I really, really love you, like you a lot being around me, because she said, you're one of the only people around me that doesn't want anything from me. I grew up in a middle class household. I didn't, I'm coming straight from college. I'm just trying to, I'm just like, hey, I'm green. I don't need, and I didn't need anything from her. I came from, my parents were.
Yeah, you was well off. I got you.
We were good.
I was good too.
I didn't need nothing.
I come from a two-bedroom house home.
You get it. So I didn't need anything.
Middle class. I'm with you.
So I didn't need anything. So those are two things that always stick out and that I carry with me a lot. Yeah.
So Ryan Cameron had a contest, right?
Yes.
And so you beat out about 500 people.
Well, he was looking for a new co-host. And so to make it more engaging and make, people more in the community more indebted to him and his show, why not open it up and make a big competition to be his co-host? And so there were, so many people that went out. He had this you had to turn in this videotape. And then after that, you had to show up to this open casting call. So I turned in my videotape. I used all of my connections. I had Taye from LaFace Records, who was working in radio promotions. I had him walk in my videotape to one of my now best friends, Akini, who was the producer of Ryan Cameron's show. And so, after that, they got my tape and they liked my tape, I guess. And so they called me. They were like, hey, are you going to come to the open call? And I'm thinking, man, I already did the tape. Well, I got to go to the open call. So I went to the open call, and it was at a hotel in Buckhead, and there was so many people there. And I'm like, oh, my God. Of course, I was early. I was on time, and I was like, cool. I was like the 11th person in line. I was like, cool, I can be in and out. That was in my head. But they were messing with me the whole day. They kept, coming to the door like, hey, is Rashan Ali still here? And I'm like, I'm still here. So, literally 4 or 5 hours later, I finally got my chance to audition with Ryan and the team, and then they narrowed it down to 10 people, and it was 2 per day for 5 days as far as the audition. And so I was chosen on the last day along with my one of my really good friends, CJ, So he picked 2 people for that contest. But, you know, I was kind of like the one that was the main host inside the studio.
Gotcha.
She did a lot of street stuff, but also we were there together. But mainly I stayed inside the studio, and that really catapulted my career in radio. He gave me. Always says he finally made me a bride. He was like, man, you always a bridesmaid. Like, he was looking at my resume, and so he gave me the opportunity, and I will forever be indebted to him for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now you're on the radio with Ryan in the 18.
No, yeah, at that point.
At that point.
No, the Ryan Cameron, and then it became the 18 when he went back to V. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to that point.
Okay, gotcha.
So what I'm saying is, let me ask you this question. What was those days like outside when the mics were cut off?
Oh, I mean, listen, you really can't put it into words because it was life. You know, I mean, but we took a lot of stuff to the radio, but like, I think that I just became the woman that I am, just learning the entertainment world. Because back then, you know, radio personalities were synonymous with the artists in the city. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We were just as popular. You know what I mean? Like, if you were on the
100%.
radio,
Yeah, 100%.
back then you were just as popular
star.
as the hottest rapper, and that thing was real. I remember one time, it was like when it came to 18, it was me, Griff, and CJ. We went to the Falcons game, and I literally like couldn't even walk. I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is like I might be that girl, huh?
So they had to usher y'all through?
They're just trying to walk through, and I was like, wow, this is like, it's everything you dream of. Like, especially I go back to that 3-year-old child, like, it's everything you dream of. And so I was just able to learn not only from that experience, like everything, if you allow it to be, can be a teachable moment.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Ryan opened up my world to so much, including fine dining. He took us to Roof Chris one time in Buckhead. He said, hey, man, act like you been there. And I'm like, all right. That's because, you know, middle class girl, you know, we went to Red Lobster on Candler Road. That was about it.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? My daddy cooked.
Yeah.
And then we would go in the summertime, you know, my dad is a coach. And so it would be daddy daycare. So he would like, all right, we're going to get us some McDonald's today. We like, what?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So
Ryan introduced me to my, you know, like the first class and limousines and all that kind of stuff. But then Ryan, you know, fine dining restaurants, even flying. I remember Ryan took us to Turks and Caicos, you know, and rented out a house before Airbnb and VRBO was a thing. You know what I mean? And so, like, I'm being exposed to all these things, even as a middle class, you know, a person, or having grown up middle class, but still being exposed to so much. But just learning the business too. You know, I'm in radio, obviously learning from a legend, and then taking those things that you want to do and don't want to do when it's your turn to lead a team. So, yeah, I mean, I could write several books on just my entire life.
I'm sure.
And my entertainment life.
I'm sure with all the people you saw going through that radio station.
Yeah, that and more. And just my own personal experience. I've been in several spaces, from sideline reporting to CNN headline news, being a sports anchor, to being on the Tyler Perry show. Like, my life has been very, very full. Very full, and everything in between. So I'm just really grateful to be in the space that I'm in, and having experienced all that I've experienced, and knowing that whatever God has for me next is going to be even richer, just because of all the things that I've been able to experience in the past.
So let's talk about the birthday bash.
30 years coming up. Yeah.
What's your most memorable moment?
I mean,
and why? Tell me why.
There are too many I'm just trying to think of, like, what. I wish I had this question in advance so I could think through it. I could call somebody, call a king, like, what happened at birthday bash?
Sorry.
Oh, I think, oh my God, so many great. I remember.
Give us two of them.
Two. I remember meeting Kanye at birthday bash.
Okay.
Before, you know, Kanye.
Before he was Kanye.
Yeah, but like when he was just walking with Don, his old manager back in the day. I just remember that. And I remember him coming to birthday bash, and then like He came back maybe the next year, or we interviewed him like a year later, and it was completely different. He had blown up. But really being able to see those artists in the beginning, I remember when Jeezy came, and it was, oh my God, it was like sweaty Jeezy with black t-shirt Jeezy, like that. I remember
the big black t-shirt.
Yeah, man, that's when I was like, oh my God. And to see Lakewood Amphitheater, and I ain't, I'm still like kind of green. I ain't really know all the hood stuff back then. Yeah. So I was like, everybody know every word of this dude's song. Like, who is it? I'm with the drop top. I was like, whoa. Yeah. So then I became a massive Jeezy fan. Like after Birthday Bash, just seeing that he wasn't even on the radio like that, but seeing the entire Lakewood Stadium just like recite every single word, that blew me, and I was an instant fan after that. Also, when Flip and T.I. was in their stuff, and I remember that Birthday Bash, and I was, because I'm such a nice person, I hate dissension, so like I'm like, oh God, they're talking about each other. I don't like this, but just being able to see, I've seen so much, man, so much, and it's bringing back so many memories. But those are a few things that have come to mind if I had to like name it on the spot, but like Jeezy and Kanye, and then to did enjoy him no matter what. You
were just speaking about talking to artists before they became really, really big. So let's get into that. So you interviewed a lot of people before they were household names. How important was that for the city at the time when you was doing that? Listen, the thing about coming to the radio station is you can't act a fool in the radio station, because we didn't have the internet back then. Yeah. You needed the radio station to play your record. 1000%.
So don't come in here being crazy, because you are risking the number one show, or at least the top 3 radio station not playing your song if you're gonna be crazy. So you gotta come in, you better sell your albums, you better sell your record, and you knew you needed the radio station. I just missed that whole connection there. It's not like that anymore. But being able to see artists, I was at LaFace Records when Tip got signed. When KP signed Tip, I was there. I remember KP letting me hear Tip. I remember Tip came into the conference room with LA. His hair wasn't even brushed.
Yeah, look, I would say like dirt on his head. I used to joke Tip all the time, like, man, shit look like dirt on your head.
Listen, I like dirty white t-shirt Tip.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I love Tip. I've been through Tip's trials. I've had to cover all of that. I had to do all of that stuff. So I was there that day and through all that time. So being able to see artists from the beginning. And then you also see artists come in the beginning, they go up.
And they come down.
Yeah. And they got to come right back to you.
Yeah,
so you got to be,
yeah.
I've always, when these artists, come around, or just when people in general, you realize you better be good to people, because you're going to need them same people when you need them same people.
No doubt. No doubt.
I've been fortunate enough to be able to, interview a lot of people who have remained the same, but also humble enough to know that maybe they did step out and do things that weren't good, and be able to come back
and get right.
Yeah.
I think in Atlanta we do a good job of that. The people that's from Atlanta.
Fantastic.
Yeah. As opposed to other people I've seen outside the city also.
We're gonna take care of us. We will. Regardless, like, man, you buddy tripping a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll check on.
You need to holler at your boy, or tell somebody to holler at your boy or your girl, know. So I think that's the beauty of Atlanta in our community.
I agree.
Yeah.
So man, you got to tell me this. What is it like interviewing a Michelle Obama and then going to interviewing a Waka Flocka?
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing of when you are. I am a journalist by trade. I had a degree in it.
I got you.
But I think the talent that God has given me is being able to relate to both of those types, both of those people.
I got you.
Michelle Obama, Waka Flocka, Gucci, and everybody in between, knowing how to speak a person's language and knowing how to relate to people. You can't be talking to Gucci, especially the old Gucci, like, hello, so Mr. Gucci. I remember I interviewed Gucci when I was on the streets. And I was like, I was just trying to get more out of him, right? And this was right before he went to jail. before he changed everything. I said, Gucci, what motivates you? You know, I'm trying to get my little Barbara Walters on. What motivates you? What makes you? You're like, that money, that green. I said, thank you so much for coming, sir. We appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, you have to be able to relate to people. And I think I think that's what's missing. You know, everybody got a platform now, but you still have to be able to relate to your audience. And I know that God has given me that gift.
Yeah, obviously. So Ryan Cameron had a tense standoff with 107.9 about his contract.
Oh, yeah.
He walked off the show on you guys and kept y'all to leave it going. So what does it take? What did it take to keep that going? And what was y'all at emotionally during that time?
It was awful. But he had given us fair warning, though. We just didn't believe him. He let y'all know y'all just thought he wasn't going nowhere. I think when he took us to Turks and Caicos, like he said, hey man, these contract negotiations are not going well. He told us that while we were out the country, and we were like, yeah, they're gonna fix it. But they didn't, and so he was able to make a bold move, and he left it on the table because it wasn't what he was worth, and the station didn't know what they wanted to do with us because here I am, I won a contest. I become really good at radio because I have a degree in it. I did college radio and all of that. But they interviewed, they brought in, man, they had Jerry Smoker B trying to lead at one point. I think it was
I forgot all about Jerry Smoker B.
Earthquake. I don't remember. They were like trying everybody. So we became the A team by default. Gotcha. Because nobody worked out. It didn't make sense. We were like the underdogs. They were like, all right, so let's try these folks, see what they do. And we ended up doing very well. We were top 3 in the market. I was the lead of the show for a while before, I had my first child. And then that's a whole different story. And I came back after that. So we became great by default.
So I was going to ask you that. You kind of answered the question.
I can expound.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So it was an unintentional passing of the torch.
Yeah, that's great. Nobody ever said it like that.
And now the stage is all yours. It's 100% yours. The mic is yours.
Yeah.
What were you going through at that time, and what was you thinking?
I mean, I'm a winner. So it wasn't anything that I knew
that you couldn't do.
Yeah. And I had the best producer in the game, who's one of my best friends, Akini the Black Mac. He hates when I say that, but that was his name.
Yeah, it was his
back
name
in the day.
then.
But he is one of the greatest radio producers, I think. He's just fantastic. You know what I mean? He produces Young Jock Show now on Streets 94.5. So, I never doubted it. And I think because we were the underdogs, you know how it is. You want to prove people wrong. You want to be like, oh, we good. And we actually became really good.
I was going to ask you this because the ratings fell off. What did y'all do to get it back to number 1?
We became great. We had a tight show. I remember calling Griff, who was had been on Frank Ski's show. I was like, hey, man, what you doing today? He was like, whatever you want me to do. So he came up to the station and auditioned and he became a part of the show. And we rap, we just had great content and I was really good.
Go toot your own horn. There you go, toot that horn.
Without a shadow of a doubt, out of all the things in my life and my career, I would say I am the best at radio. Out of all my gifts that God has given me, that is something that I could do in my sleep. You know what I mean? Other things I have to work. I am a natural radio personality. I'm not in it right now. I'm not saying that I've completely closed that door. I've been thinking about it lately. But this radio is just completely different than what it used to be.
Yeah, you were saying that. Yeah. Explain that a little bit.
Well, there's other platforms now. You have a platform, and I'm not saying that, but it's a lot of people talking.
You're right.
So people don't go to the radio for all of their information anymore.
You're right.
They have different flavors. If somebody wants to talk about finances, they can find a podcast about finance. You want to talk about God, you want to talk about religious versus spirituality. You have everything you need when everything you needed before came with your 10 to 12 radio stations.
I was going to just tell you, do that. Yeah. Explain to the young children that don't understand.
They don't know that.
Because now they wake up and they can just get on their phones and go straight. We didn't have that.
We didn't have any of those things. So you turn the radio on. You want to hear the birthday song. You turn the radio on if you want to hear what's going on in the city, or your favorite artist is gonna be a T.I. coming up in 8 minutes, and this T.I. just dropped. You know what I mean? Like, I'm serious or whatever. You be like, T.I. he's coming up. So that would be now you can be like, let me go to Tip page, see what he's doing today. You know what I mean? Like now you can go to his page, you can go to his family's page. It's so much access. Media has, and I love technology, but there's so much access to media that it's not exclusive anymore.
I was going to ask you, do you think that took a lot of the stardom out of everything?
Absolutely it did.
And I wanted to just touch on that a little bit because people don't understand, because now we can actually reach out and touch our stars instead of, like you're saying, where they were from afar. Yes. Because me and you come from a time, I tell people this, they don't understand how far music has come, right? I'm like, bro, I can only listen to rap 2 hours out the week. You know what I'm saying? On Fridays, and that was the fresh part. Right. I'm like, now you can turn to every station, and you got 1,000 stations for rap.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was the beauty of exclusivity and being able to, that wow factor, like, oh my God, I just can't believe Kilo just dropped a new song on the radio.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. So it was just the lure. It was all of that the beauty of that life that we had then. We can't get that back.
We can't get that back. My dad saying, man, nothing stays the same.
It does not. And so, but the feeling that I have with you even talking about it, it just makes me, it feels like a warm hug.
It is. It was that. I agree.
Was true.
It was nothing like going to that tape recorder and mashing on pause play. Yes. And that eliminator come on and you made your own tapes to listen to for the rest of the week.
Man, what?
They don't get it. I'm like, y'all got everything to eat, so you don't feel the joy in actually doing those little things.
Yeah, man.
So I agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's go back to 107.9, right? They decided to move on from your show and they did Rickey Smiley's show. Take me to what was going on in your head then and what you was feeling.
Well, I remember the day. Wayne Brown, God rest his soul, he came into the radio, he came into the studio, he's like, hey guys, after the show, we need to see you. Griff ass. That means we get fired, y'all. We get fired today, y'all. We get fired today. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Oh. He's like, I'm telling you, this is what they did when they did this at V103. This is when I got fired from V. I'm telling you. Man, he was so right. That day, it was a whole shakeup in the radio station. We got replaced with Rickey Smiley. A couple of people from the show got let go. I got moved to middays, and that was horrible. I never ran my own boards. Like Akini ran my boards, so I had to learn how to run my board. I had to learn how to run my boards. It was awful because we had kept hearing about Rickey Smiley coming. And they were just lying to us.
Was he syndicated before that already?
But a lot less stations.
Okay.
But it makes more sense because one, star power, and it's cheaper. All you gotta do is click it on. You pay a fee for that station to be on it. So now you're not paying individual people. And at the time, I was the highest paid radio personality at the station. Saying that was some good money. It was so good because times were different. You know what I mean? So then it
like
felt
you say,
bigger.
you was a star at that time.
Yeah, I'm still a star.
Yeah, you are. I don't mean to say it like that.
I know, but it was so that happened, and I was horrible in middays, and it was tough. And then I ended up getting let go from middays. They were still paying me my morning show salary in middays, and so when that contract came up, they were like, so thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. I was pregnant with my second child then. They fired me pregnant with my second child, and I had an event that night. Still had to do the event that they were supporting.
Ain't no look. How was your mind state going into that event?
Man, I was like, boy. That's when I started to have a love-hate relationship with radio.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was probably I had started to have a love-hate relationship with it just because I saw things move.
Yeah.
But that was like the icing on the cake. I'm pregnant. I was 7 months pregnant.
Yeah, you filed my ass.
Yeah,
I get you.
Yeah, I get it though. It's a dirty world.
It is a dirty, it's a business.
But don't take away from who you are as a person or who your talents. It's just it's the business.
So eventually you did rejoin Ryan at V103. It was full circle. Tell me what that moment was like in the transition.
It was cool for a second. Because you got to understand when I got with Ryan, I was very, very new. I was like, I still had milk. You know what I mean? I still was drinking from the bottle. But then when he left, I became the lead of the show. I became essentially the female version of Ryan.
So you had your own.
Right. You go back to being a sidekick and doing traffic. Not that traffic was beneath me, but I had become that girl on the other side. And so that was a year that was very humbling. And V103 is a whole different beast than Hot was. It was big. They were used to winning. I remember in the station, in the programming meeting, they were like, yeah, we got number one in trend across the board. And I was like, man, this is great. Everybody looking to be like, yeah, I know. That's what we do here. But, at Hot at the time, we were always scratching for number one. We would be three, you know what I mean? But scratching for number one in 1834. But we did eventually become number one in 1834. And when Ryan was there, I don't think we ever became number one 1834 and when it was the 18. But we were always it was always 1, 2, 3. It was like Frank, the Burt Show, than us. So, it was different that year. And I knew near the end, when everything, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to.
You don't want to be second fiddle.
Yeah. And he knew I had grown. And then our relationship, was just different. I was a new mom for the second time around. I didn't have any children when Ryan and I were together the first time. So I was on my second child. Like I still
different
nursing.
Dynamic.
It was totally different. So he knew I didn't want to be there. I don't think he wanted me there near the end. And I was ready to go. They were ready to let me go, and it all came together perfectly. And I got the opportunity to talk about what I wanted to do next. Like that video is on YouTube now. But it's all about growth and being able to talk about it. Like I'm a grown woman, you know what I'm saying?
When you came in earlier, you was young. I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was 26 years old when I first started in radio. So
let me ask you this: when you being at 107.9 so long and you switching radio stations, have you ever had a slip of the tongue and said the wrong radio station?
No, I haven't. But when I did, I've been to three radio stations, and I filled in for Ryan when Ryan got sick when he was on 107.5. So I always made sure I had that piece of paper, like, okay, what station am I on today? But I have a recurring dream that I mess up. I do have a recurring dream, but during those times, like, what if I say Streets when I'm at Hot, and then Hot, you know what I mean? Or I went from Hot to V to Streets. So, but there was enough time in between. But yeah, I never got too big. And Ryan Cameron taught me that. Like he still would do bullet points. He's one of the best. To me, he's one of the best interviewers ever. And I think that I know that I became great at it by watching him. But he was still, to this day, and he probably still does it, he still does bullet points as to what he wants to ask people. And you never get too big to do the little things. Kevin Lau said that one time. You never get too big to do the little things. So I always am prepared, and I watched him prepare. Every single day, I watched him read. That's when the paper was real. He would read the paper from front to back, and he would tear out little things that he wanted to say. And he's so good at it.
Real meticulous.
And, very meticulous. And I became just like that because I watched somebody master it.
Well, that rolls into my next question with Ryan. So y'all had like a sibling relationship.
Oh, still do.
And so how important was he to your career and your growth? Man,
I said, whenever I get my first internationally televised award, he's going to always be in the speech. He's always going to be in the speech.
I got you.
Because God used him as a vessel to give me an opportunity that literally set the precedent for my career. So we still talk often. We talk often, very often. About life. Now our conversations are completely different. My children are 19 and 16. His children are, grown. And I was there. I remember him calling the radio station when his son was born. and just I wrote his daughter's letter to become an AK, his older daughter's letter to become an AKA, and I also kind of served as I would say a PR person for Ryan and his family when he got sick.
I can see that.
So I helped Ryan Megan, who was speaking on, for her father, helped her with certain things to say. And then I stayed in touch with them throughout his recovery. And I filled in for Ryan for about 4 or 5 months while he was sick. This was during the pandemic. So, and this was right after Sister Circle got canceled. So it worked out. I reached out to the radio station when Ryan got sick because I was calling Ryan. We always keep each other updated on what's going on in our lives, just always. And so I wanted to tell him that Sister Circle had got canceled before it hit the media.
Gotcha.
And I couldn't get in touch with him. And it was worrying me that because we always respond to each other and he'll still check me like, you ain't hit me on my last text, and I hit up his producer at the time, Sam, and he was like, I'm really not supposed to tell you this, but Ryan is, sick or whatever. And so I then called the program director, Derek Harper, and I was like, if anybody can fill in for Ryan while he's sick, it's only me. And so they took me up on that. And so I did the show from my house because you couldn't go into the radio station. So we would do it down the line. It was one of the greatest joys I had to be able to do that. That was
the right move for them to do.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. That's definitely the right move. It only makes sense.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, he will forever be a part of my story.
And this is going to be another question I want to ask you. Do you think he's gotten his flowers and his just due, what he's deserved for being one of the pioneers in Atlanta?
That's a weighted question because in some aspects, yes, but in some others, no. I think, and I feel that same way about myself at times too. I'm like, do they give me the love that I really think I deserve? But you still, but you got to rest on, does God love me more than all these people? So you can't put your value in how other people see you.
Especially in today's time.
Yeah, but I think that people because we come from the cloth that is cool, people get used to you being so cool that they don't realize how legendary you are.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
So like you say, man, we almost lost Ryan.
Yeah.
So, just touching for a minute on that. What was it like dealing with your brother in the hospital?
Yeah, when Ryan was sick, that was very tough because I just had a front row seat to what was really happening behind the scenes, and it was very touch and go, especially those first few days. It's very touch and go, and I knew that it was one particular procedure or surgery he had to have, which would, if he didn't make it through that, then we wouldn't be talking like this.
Gotcha.
So when he made it through that was
took a little easy.
That was like, but it was still very, very, it was still very touch and go for a very long time. But I remember when he called the station for the first time and was actually able to talk on air, and I was interviewing him. That was hard because his voice sounded so different. But man, when he making recovery now, we just we had lunch together. Maybe it's been about 6 or 7 months now, but like saw him at the Tyler Perry Christmas party with his wife, and and we always talk. We talk a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
So let's get to your dad, man. The legendary Buck Godfrey, Southwest Decatur.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was it like growing up with him?
I mean, I'm a daddy's girl to this day. My daddy will be 83 in April. I'm not sure when this airs, but he'll be 83 soon. And I feel like I am so privileged to have been able to be raised by such a giant.
Definitely.
Yeah, but my daddy is truly special because although he was a father figure to so many young men and young women, he just knew how to always seem like he was just our daddy. Even though we shared him with so many people.
You surely did.
He still made us feel like it was just us. And I think that's a true gift. I mean, my daddy Stone Mountain Park. We would be there all day. Remember, it was water park at Stone Mountain. Like, that was the thing.
It was, man. I forgot all about that water park.
We would get a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. He would take us to the store, get honey buns. That's when they had the water park. This was summer for us. Even though he was coaching football and he was the coach of the swim team. I don't know how he carved those moments in, but those moments, you just don't forget that. And I just feel so honored to be loved by a man like him.
Yeah. Your dad was real important part.
He is. He ain't gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm talking
Don't
about.
Don't say past tense.
Not past. I'm just talking about far as when he was actually coaching in Decatur.
Yeah. My bad.
Because the reason why I want to say this is I want to get this out because your father brought my head coach and my coach, Coach McCrary, into the Hall of Fame. He brought him over, and I played for Coach McCrary. Mm-hmm. He's my father figure. I still coach with Coach McCrary at Columbia, and your father was coaching some of my best friends, Angelo Taylor, Quincy Carter, Michael Hall, like all these guys I played basketball with.
Okay,
So I just wanted to tell you how important your dad was. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to talk about that. And I want to really get back into your dad was an inspiration to Quincy Carter in his career. Mm-hmm. What was that relationship like with him?
Still is. Mm-hmm. Still is. Incredible. They just had an event for my dad. It was at a restaurant in Conyers. Mm-hmm. I wish I could plug them right now. I can't remember the name. A very nice restaurant. But when Trey Boger's mom put it together, I don't know if you remember Trey. He's a little younger than us, but he was a quarterback. My dad's quarterback. Okay. His mom put it together. She and her husband, Mr. Boger, who was an NFL. Is that
Miss Boger used to be the principal at Redan?
Yes.
That is okay. Yeah. She was my boss at one time when I coached at Redan.
So they put it together, and it was like former players came and all of that, and so Quincy was there, and my dad had gotten sick, and so he was in a rehab facility out in Gwinnett, and so Quincy was there.
Yeah, that was just one of his father figures for sure.
Yeah, and then. My daddy never left Quincy's side, even through everything that he went through, and his recovery and all of that. My daddy never left his side, and you can tell Quincy feels that and he knows that. Our family's never left Quincy's side. I was on the radio when he got let go by the Cowboys, and when he was in it deep.
Look, I used to talk to Quincy all the way up until he moved back when he was living in Austin. Mm-hmm. So I know what the hell he was going through too.
Yeah. So I remember when, he was in, actively where he was and him calling me, "That ain't true, Rashan." I'm just like, I don't know, babe, but you just gotta, I'm just so happy that he's on the other side.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Praise God.
So in that moment, did you know that your dad was becoming a legendary icon on the football field when he was going through his legendary
times
run? Mm-hmm.
I think I really think that state championship in 1995 with Quincy as the quarterback in that stadium. I still remember how packed the stadium was, Memorial Stadium, Halford Stadium, and I just remember.
I finally got over the hump.
How good it felt. It wasn't just about Southwest Decatur. It was about the community.
Yeah.
It was about the community.
Because we could never go down there and beat them country boys.
Yeah, man.
we finally got down there and beat them.
14-7. And it was a real state championship game. And I just remember the feeling. I was still in college. I just remember the feeling. I'll never forget how that felt. And that's when I knew, I'm like, this is
it's for real.
This is different, right?
Yeah, it's different.
This is like real. That's when you USA Today, you top 15 in USA Today. Like that's when people were like, somebody cares right now. You know what I mean? So that was like that feeling. My life has just been so blessed and so full of just amazing moments of family, of being able to see what a man, a real man, like to be fathered by a real man and to be loved by a real man. Yeah, that had shaped me.
Yeah,
to be this woman. I know I'm different because I was loved by him.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of black women don't get that experience.
I know.
I think that changes things in our community too.
It does. And so I know I'm very blessed to have had that love and still have it. And he loves my daughter, his 4 granddaughters. We got 19, 17, 16, 15. Like my brother has 2 girls. And he loves them down, like he loved me. And so they get that too from their grandfather.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do want to say this to all the Southwest players. It's 95, because Quincy was 96 with me. So I used to get mad because after he won the state championship, Quincy be like, I got a ring. You ain't got no ring, right? I say, man, 'cause I played basketball. I ain't play football. And they played basketball as well. But their senior year, they wouldn't let Quincy play basketball.
Yeah, we needed him.
Yeah, I like, hey, bro, I'll meet you at the basketball court, nigga. You can't beat me in basketball. And so we play summer league every year in Columbia, and them niggas would not come play basketball after that. I was so mad.
Yeah, my daddy did not want nobody. My daddy abhorred basketball. He can't stand basketball.
And I know that's the only way I can beat him. That's the only way I can beat Angelo.
He still can't stand basketball to this day. And because, when football players who were talented like Quincy would go out there, they tweak a knee. He hated it because of it was prone to injury. And so you mess up in basketball, you mess up football, you mess up. He be like, track, get your speed on. Perfect. That's fine. Basketball, bruh. No. He's like, look how they do the hand. Look how they do the hand. I be like, Daddy, you can't do that.
Come on, coach, that's how you used to do it.
A foul. They chop it down like a foul. I'm like, Dad.
Don't feel bad.
Listen, that was before that was a thing. He can't say that now.
No, you can't. But back then, you right.
What? Look how they do the hand.
That is hilarious.
I used to be like that, but
that's funny,
so
man.
That
is
that
hilarious.
dude crazy.
Well, we was like that. Coach McCray when like basketball players that played football.
Exactly.
Like Juan was the only part I never forget. I tried to play football my senior year, and Coach McCray said, "You go out there on that goddamn football field, don't you step foot in my goddamn gym." I say, man, Chico play football all through. He's like, Chico been playing football since he's 9 years old, nigga.
Right, you can't go out there.
You can't go out there and get hurt. You must throw in point guard. I'm like, all right. But let me get back on track. I want to ask you this, man. What was it like that moment at Memorial Stadium when they put your dad's name up there?
Oh, wow. That was, he was fighting that thing for so long because my dad is so humble. Like I always say, you're humble to a fault.
Yeah.
I don't want all that. You got folks like really trying to make it happen. Like, I
know it's happening.
I mean, I'm talking about like fought to the end.
I know what you're going through.
So when it finally happened, I got T-shirts made, William Buck Godfrey Stadium, and it was a big deal. And I think once he saw it, and the changes that they made to Panthersville Stadium, like really made some beautiful upgrades to the field and all that stuff. And then for the fact that because the girls were young then, they probably were like, they probably were like 7, 6, 5, 4. You know what I mean? But they all there's a picture in everybody's house with the girls. They had William Buck Godfrey Stadium with their puffy hair. Now one's at Howard, one's about to go to Hampton, one in we got 2 about to be in 11th grade. So it's like, that moment for him and the granddaughters being there was so big. But I think he gets it. It totally gets it now. But it was a fight to the finish line. But seeing his name there and knowing that, our family has that.
Yeah. That's big time.
Is a beautiful thing.
It's big time. We had to fight the same way with Coach. I literally had to almost trick him to come to when they put the name on the floor. He's like, Tab, I don't care nothing about all that. I'm just worried about to make sure the kids. I said, Coach, you got to take this shit.
Right.
I said, everybody else dead to get their name on the stuff. We got to give you flowers while you're here. So I know the fight you went through, and they two are the same kind.
They listen from the same cloth.
They're from the same cloth, and that's why they friends to this day.
Right.
Two of the same. I had to fight him. I'm like, come on, man.
Right. Yeah.
You tripping.
Same. So
take us back to Sister Circle. What did that show mean to you and your growth?
Oh, I think that Sister Circle was a very critical time in my life because it allowed me to grow as a host and on-air personality, but it also put a camera to my face as to
camera on
you see yourself differently. And I'm saying that to say, who am I? And I think it was very critical into my growth professionally and personally. After being on Sister Circle, during that time, I went to counseling for the first time. You know what I mean? I actually sat on somebody's couch, let's talk about ourselves. Let's pull back some layers as to who's really in there. And I will credit that show for helping with me with that. In a sense, in terms of being a
Was it some doubt? Was it some doubt there?
Of course.
Okay, tell you.
Doubt. It was trying to manage everybody's lives, including mine. So I was the host. I was the moderator of the show. So I'm the whoopee of the show.
Yeah.
So you're having to do this, right? And then you're also me because I'm a Cancer, and I want everything to be roses and lavender and all that. I wanted everybody to be lovely. So I felt like I was putting it upon myself to manage the back of the house too. Different personalities and learning and knowing how to you're working with, a comedian personality. You're working with a Grammy Award winner, Grammy nominated singer. You're working with a reality star. So you're dealing with all types of personalities.
I don't envy you on that at all.
Yeah, but it made me stronger. It made me know how to deal with people and how to, navigate certain things. But also that was the first time in my life that I was people were trying to make me feel bad for being a good person, a nice person. I had never experienced that. Like there was some ulterior motive as to me being a really good person. And I was like, wow, it makes you question yourself. Like, am I good? Like, am I a good person? Like, why am I being questioned for being a good person? Like, I don't even understand this at all. But then I had to realize when I talk about growth, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Somebody else's opinion. That's on them. But I had to learn how to separate that because here I am like, so what did I do? Do I need to be more this? Do I need to be more that? No.
Yeah, that's something they project.
That's their insecurity.
Yeah, that's something they project.
And so I had to, but unlearning those types of behaviors. When I say the camera was on me, I'm talking about camera, not physically, like looking at myself.
I got you.
Looking at myself. So it grew me tremendously. From a spiritual aspect, a professional aspect, and knowing how I wanted to move when I had my own show, when I did my podcast and all that, I took all those things and I was like, this is how we're going to do it when I do it. But I'm grateful to every person. It's all love with everybody, but learning how to navigate that was an experience that I will always take with me.
So now I'm gonna get on the sofa right now and let you be my psychologist for a minute, because I just wanted to ask you this. With me doing this podcast, when you did Sister Circle, did you ever go watch yourself? You used to watch yourself after you got it done?
I did. Not a lot.
I never watch myself.
Well, that's how you become better, though.
And I know I get little stuff and I tweak it, the way I talk and that kind of thing. But I don't like to watch a lot of that stuff because
I'm gonna tell you why you need to.
Okay, I'm listening.
And this is just because you got to be more conversational. The thing is, you looking at that phone. I've said so many things that you could have had a follow-up to.
I got you.
Like Grant. So you can't be married to that.
I got you.
Converse. We're having a conversation.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So if you look at that, even though with great editing, if you look at it, it'll make you better.
I got
That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you just gotta fight it and look.
That's why I wanted to say. That's why I wanted to have a conversation.
So I'm being your side. I'm your
and
doctor
I needed
right
that.
now.
That's why I asked that, because I'm all with making myself better also.
Yeah, converse.
So I'm cool.
I had on Sister Circle, Wendy Williams was our first guest, and I've always looked up to her. No matter what anybody said, she went on radio to talk to her. She did everything that I wanted to do, right? And I used to study her. And she said, "What?" I said, "What makes you great? What makes you?" She was like, "I'm great because I have a conversation." It's a conversation. She was like, that's when she was still well and everything. It's a conversation. And I just don't forget that. It's a conversation.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. So that's it.
And so let's get to COVID. Let's get back on track.
Okay, back on track.
I need that for my little bit.
Yeah.
Let's get back on track. So now it's COVID time, man. They canceled the show.
Yeah.
What was going through your head?
For 24 hours, I was sad.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I was sad for 24
hours. You give yourself no other time than that, huh?
I might have been less than that because I was like, I was tired anyway. Yeah, I got tired. I was like, all right, we got treated really bad from the production company, not TV One, but Tegna. Tegna still had us under our pilot contracts. They never renegotiated our money with us. We had 2 weeks off a year. That was our hiatus time, when most talk shows would get at least 3 months off, like a summer hiatus where they would rerun, but you would still get paid. We got treated horribly in terms of talk show hosts. We were underpaid, grossly underpaid, and although it was still nice, we were grossly underpaid as far as the market was. Now, mind you, our shows weren't as big. Our show was not as big as The View, The Talk, and then what's the other one that was Jesus Baby Mama was on? That one, that one that came along later. We didn't have a big network like that behind us, but if we shouldn't have been paid based on our pilot contracts either. They never even negotiated with us, which was really bad. So we did it out of the love. We wanted to do it because 4 Black women have never done, a show like that since there have been some things, that have happened, but not 4 Black women with that type of diversity. Like, we all weren't just journalists. We all weren't just a certain thing. We were different, all 4 different people, which was great. Even when Trina came on. So after Kiana left, so it's just we just got grossly underpaid. But I was not sad at all after that one day because I was tired.
You was tired of it?
I was tired.
That was a lot of personalities to manage.
I love them all.
Yeah.
Including myself. I was probably a lot to deal with at times, but I tried to make sure that I was a real leader and tried to navigate it as best I could. And I think we did. We had a really good run. When it was good, that mother was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on them days it was bad, I was like, but I want out of here. You know what I'm saying?
I got you 100%.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like I say, I don't envy you that.
Yeah.
I know my friends, I wouldn't want to do a show with a bunch of my friends.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd be on there arguing too much.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a great arguer at all. That's why I never made it on reality TV. I never did. I can't. If you read me, I'd be like, you won, baby. I can't even try to come back.
Yeah,
even if I won. You won. I don't, because somebody that can read you down the field, baby, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like this. It's not me.
Can't get it out.
It's not me.
I don't believe that.
I don't know how to do it.
I don't believe that.
No, I don't know how to read people. That is not my gift.
So you ventured into acting with Tyler Perry.
No, I did acting way before then. I was acting.
So we known you from acting then.
Yeah, well, I did a couple of small things.
Okay. So let's get into the small things you done.
Well, 3 Can Play That Game. I was on there with Vivica Fox. I was in The Gospel. I was in Twa 3, The Escort, But being on Tyler Perry show was my biggest acting gig.
So you on All the Queen's Men, you play a role of Miss Tandy.
Miss Tandy.
That's the exact polar opposite of who you are, correct?
She is, I'm nothing like Miss Tandy. Like, in no way, shape, or form am I anything like Miss Tandy.
So how do you switch it on and off?
I love that. That's the beauty of acting, so that you can be someone, you can embody someone completely different from who you are. But playing that character was very scary for me in the beginning because I do have a very, prior to that, I have a very clean brand. It's very, this is Rashan Ali, So when I got that role, when I auditioned for the role, I knew that there could be some nudity involved, but I was like, let me just go for it. It's during the pandemic. I was like, I had already been on Sisters. I had been on an episode of Sisters, which is, is in its 10th season now. I was on season 2. I was in an episode in season 2. And so we were in the bubble and I was able to shoot there for 11 days, which was fantastic. And so I got the opportunity to audition for this new show they had coming out, which was based off of Christian Keys, who was the original creator of the show, based off his book. And so when they developed the show, it became All the Queen's Men. And so Miss Tandy was somebody that I was afraid to do because I'm like, nudity, what's that mean? I'm like, what do you mean? How much? And when I got the role, my agent called and they were like, hey, you got the role, you're going to be put on hold. But there's a caveat, there is some nudity. And and at the time, I didn't know that you could say, all right, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. You
just wanted the role.
I wanted the role, but I had to call my husband to tell him because there was a time when we were watching Tommy and Lala do a scene on Power. He was like, hey man, when you do this acting thing, can you please promise me you don't do nothing like that? I was like, yeah, baby, I will never do nothing like that. So then I called him. I was like, yeah, and he's a teacher. I was like, called him. I was like, hey, babe, I got the role with Tyler Perry at Tyler Perry Studios. He's like, oh man, it's incredible. I was like, but there's possible nudity involved. And I was like, well, how much? I was like, well, I don't know. So he gave me his blessing because I don't think he wanted to say no, because what if it got big? And it did. The show became really, really big. And my character, I realized then, once I got there, and there's, Screen Actors Guild, SAG will protect you, and you have intimacy coordinators, and so you have to talk to your partner to see. This is a real calculated scene. Like when people do intimate scenes, it's not like get out there, you're covered up. You have to talk to your person about, what can you touch? Are you doing full kissing? Are you just doing kissing? Like, you really talk it out, because it's legally something that, if you go beyond what you have agreed upon, then that's a violation. So I loved how everything was just beautifully done. And so I made the decision. I'm not going to show full, breasts, and I'm not going to show a full butt. Like, my areolas will never be shown. Like, they'll have to be covered up. So I stay very close to that. I actually do that.
Your husband ever been on set?
He does not watch the show.
Okay.
He does not watch the show.
Very smart man.
He is.
Very smart
he's
man.
Heard all about it.
I was about to say, I don't know how I can handle that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's heard all about it from, people that watch. I'm sure. So, listen, Tyler Perry Studios pays very well. So there is, you get that part of it. We get to go certain places and do certain things because of it. But I'm saying all that to say that character grew me, because I was very afraid of her, and I was afraid of what the backlash may be on the other side of it. I did get some, but I had to push through it because you gotta kind of push yourself to do different things, unless you'll stay the same. So she grew Rashan. That character grew Rashan. I'm very grateful for her, because I became stronger because of it. I became like, everybody gonna have something to say. I remember my therapist when certain things happened, I was getting some backlash from certain group of people. She was like, "Oh, we winning," because if they weren't talking, we wouldn't be winning. And I was like, does it have to be like that? I want everybody to love it. Everybody ain't gonna love you. Every person ain't gonna love you. You ain't gonna be everybody's cup of tea.
It's true.
And I had to like, at a certain age of my life, I had to realize that everybody ain't gonna like me, and that's okay too. And that's okay too. So I love Miss Tandy. I love what she's done for me.
So what was it like working with a legendary producer and director like Tyler Perry?
TP gets you ready for, I think, if any actor can go through that system, you're prepared, because we shoot so fast. Because it's high budget, Mr. Perry has 5 different cameras, from a steady cam to your solo shot to the wide shot to everything. And you literally get everything in one shot. And we move so fast, and he produces things so fast that you have to be ready. And I remember during the pandemic, we would have, we were in a bubble. So they would have food trucks and drink trucks at night once everybody wrapped. It was like 3 or 4 shows being wrapped. And he came out one night to talk to everybody. And it was just a great time. I loved the bubble. Man, it was great. And he just said, everybody's responsible for their part. If the cameraman gonna have the right lights, if the gaffer gonna make sure everything is put up right, if the producer's gonna make sure everything, your paperwork, everything's done, you as an actor, come to the set prepared. Period. Know your lines, know what direction you want to go. He'll stop you if he don't like it.
Gotcha.
But if it's good enough, baby, we moving on to the next thing. Hey, cut, moving all around. You move to the next scene. So I am so great. I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity to work there, because every project since then, I go in, I'm always a prepared person, but I go in, I'm so ready and off book, because I'm so used to shooting. I remember one day we just shot at my house. So I have a house, Tandyland, on set. So we shot all of the episodes that were shot in my house were shot that day with me. So I had to know everything. If it was episode 16, page, scene such and such, I had to be ready for that. So those days that I'm going to shoot that day, I could be doing 17, 16 scenes. And you got to be ready. So
you got to memorize all those things?
You got to know what you want to do. That's why the prep, they give us our scripts well in advance. I get with my acting coach and we work.
Gotcha.
Because when camera's up, you gotta be ready.
Mm.
And it has made me ready in so many different, so many different spaces of my life. I'm ready, and I accredit that experience having worked with Tyler Perry Studios and Tyler Perry and Armani, who has since directed us, Mr. Perry. There were several directors on the first season. Then we came back and did some more things on the first season, which he primarily directed. So the first two seasons, or season 2 and 3, is when, season 2, 1 and 2, and then we got another director who came under his tutelage. Armani's incredible too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me about the Worthington Valley Dolphins.
Oh man, Worthington Valley Dolphins still lives to this day, and I'm saying that because my daddy was the coach of the Summer Swim League, and we broke records. We had records that lasted 20 plus years, especially the girls that were on my relay team.
Okay.
All of us went to college on swimming scholarships, but some people that swam on that team, namely Jabari King, he swam on that team. He ended up going to Howard University. He met a young lady at Howard University. They had a family. His daughter, he has his own swim program. His daughter, named Pilar King, just won the state in two events and is going to Arizona on a full swimming scholarship. Also, Marcus Green, who swam Worthington Valley, he swam. There was another team from Worthington Valley. There were other teams that kind of derived from there. We moved different neighborhoods, but the foundation was Worthington Valley. Marcus Green's son swims for Howard, and they just won their second championship. So Worthington Valley with Buck Godfrey, another thing that he did, he started this swim team at Worthington Valley. So from those kids on that swim team, we still are seeing the residual effect of what he did there. What he did there. So you got Howard University, Arizona, from kids that actually swam on that team. My daddy is a beast. I ain't even talking about that. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So back in the day, Jet Magazine, man, we had this thing called Beauty of the Week.
That's me.
Everybody used to turn straight to the Beauty of the Week page. How did you become the Jet Magazine Beauty of the Week?
This girl named Raquel Thomas. Was it Raquel? Riley or Thomas? She got married. Beautiful young lady. She was a photographer. I don't know. I met her, and she at the time was shooting Jet's Beauties of the Week, and she was like, "I think you'd be great." And I'm like, "What? Really?" And so she had like a direct contact for the Beauty of the Week, and she was a model. Actually, Ryan was she was doing some PR for Ryan even recently. I'm not sure if they're still working together, but so she shot me. The first one she shot me, we did 2 shoots. The first one, it was good, but I think my bathing suit it just wasn't pulling me in well. And that was before I had kids, so everything was perky. And so I got the opportunity to be the Jet Beauty of the Week. I had a signing at Greenbrier Mall, and it was a big deal on the radio station. And I had it was the 4th of July edition. So I had my little head up and everything like that.
You probably was on some teenage boys' walls.
No, I'm sure. I had a little red bathing suit. It was great. Dang, yeah, that was something. That was an experience. It was fun. Like that's a Jet Magazine. Yeah. Everybody had Jet Magazine.
Everybody
back in the day.
had Jet Magazine,
and I was like one of the ladies, and I'm like, I really look good. Look at me.
Yeah,
Rashan.
That was the first thing we looked for. We get that Jet Man. We go straight to Beauty of the Week. Then what was at the end? That was the
songs.
The top songs.
Yeah.
Jet Beauty of the Week. Then you go all the way to the end and check the top songs.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man, those are the days.
So you went to FAMU. That's an HBCU.
Of course.
Which I love HBCUs. How important are HBCUs to the Black community?
I mean, come on now. Is there any other? No, of course.
I'm with you.
There are. But, my parents met at Delaware State, an HBCU, and my brother went to Tennessee State University. I only applied to Black schools, North Carolina A&T, Jackson State, FAMU, and Tennessee State. And so I literally grew up in a household where my parents said, you will go to an HBCU for undergrad.
100.
You can get your graduate degree from anywhere else, but your foundation will be in HBCU. So there was nothing ever, anything else for me. I didn't even think about going to a white school because I wanted to see what I saw in my family's scrapbook.
I'm with you.
In the photo book, you know, my mom became an AKA in 1965. My daddy became a Q in 1963. So you seeing their pictures, you seeing them on the yard. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want this, and then a different world came along. What?
Yeah. We don't got that no more. We don't got a different world.
Man.
We ain't got a different that meant a lot. That meant a lot for us.
It was huge. It was school days in a different world. I'm like, this is all the cherry and everything on top for me. So when I got to FAM, I was like, yep, this is it.
You said did you say you had somebody go to Hampton?
My niece is going to Hampton.
Yeah, my uncle was the president of Hampton for years, Dr. Harvey.
Okay.
For years. So even on that side of my family, my aunt was married to Lionel Richie, so she went to Tuskegee. Okay. My mother went to Tuskegee. Her mother went to Tuskegee. Her mother actually took care of George Washington Carver on his deathbed, School of Nursing, Tuskegee. Oh, wow. So that's why I went to a HBCU too. They tried to get me to go to Tuskegee because my uncle went there and he went to the NBA and I had them dreams, but I ended up going to Savannah State. I went too far from FAM.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so happy. And my daughter's at Howard. She's in her second year at Howard. My younger daughter is a softball player, so she's already, low-key being recruited. Not recruited, but like she's on all the boards and all the things. So she just got second team all-region in Cobb County for her first year on varsity. So we're on the track for her getting a scholarship to play softball. So, my husband went to FAMU. That's where we met, even though we only kissed when we were freshmen, and we didn't date until after school. Go. But he got me. So and we've been married almost 24 years. So yeah.
FAMU, former plantation.
See why you?
It is. It's a plantation. No wrong with being a plantation. Man bought the land and built the home.
Move on.
HBCU.
Move on. You're right.
Yeah.
Move on
with that, man.
Yeah. I'll find a way to get name.
I'm gonna shoot at it a little bit. It's cool. I think that's rich history.
Okay, moving on.
We'll move on. What has being a wife and a mother taught you?
I mean, that is so layered.
It is.
That is a layered question, but you are the woman I was at 20, I got married at 27. It's completely different from the woman I am at almost now 51. The mother I was at 31, first child born at 31, completely different from the woman I am at about to be 51. But when I look at my husband now, marriage is about learning to love different iterations of who the person is.
No doubt.
And hoping that they line up.
Yeah.
At the same time, or someone being able to be okay with who that person is becoming.
I was about to say, is it hoping that you line up, or y'all trying
to? But you don't line up at the same time. But can you coexist while there's misalignment?
Yeah, while they trying to catch up,
because I'm completely different than who I was even a year ago. 7 months ago, I stopped drinking 7 months ago, almost 7.5 months ago, because I needed to, and that opened up my eyes to. It opened up a different portal of my life that needed healing, but God needed me to stop drinking first to be able to see it. So with that, I have become different with my husband. I'm different with my children. I love differently because I am really more God-centered than I've ever been before in my life. And God had been trying to get my attention in the field of alcohol for like about 4 or 5 years. Like what we doing, friend? And so I think I'm saying all that to say the mother I am now is the mother I've always wanted to be. I'm growing into the mother I've always wanted to be. And then I think I'm a softer version of who I am with my husband. Not softer, but I'm just different. I've always been a very solid human being. But I think being more rooted and grounded in God, like really rooted and grounded in God.
I'm listening.
Than I've ever been before. Is making everything around me different. My eyes are completely different.
I got you.
And I love that about where I'm going.
Look, I was.
Oh, okay.
I was when you was going into that, I was about to ask you about the softer side.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times me dealing with women, I'll be like, man, I need your softer side.
Yeah.
So what was that journey like getting to there? It's still a work in progress.
Yeah, because you know, even though my daddy raised a very strong, and I keep saying my daddy, my mother too, obviously, but I'm a daddy's girl, so I have to speak from that vantage point. But you raise a strong girl and then strong woman, and then I'm a mover. I'm like, all right, I can get it done. I can do it. It's a lot of times women, we're so ready to get it all done that you won't allow a man to actually do it.
Thank you.
For you.
Yes.
Or be
Let him be the leader. I got what
But I also grew up in a household where I know Buck was he loved us well, but my mama, she took care. We doing this. All right, Buck, give me the money. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna flip it. We're gonna do. My mama was that. So I saw that growing up, and as much as I didn't want to be like that,
it's etched in you. 100%.
You said
1,000%.
As much as I did not want to be that, you still do not fall too far from the tree. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. So you have to be so cognizant of how you show up. So I had to continuing to unlearn certain behaviors because of what I saw. And so I just need, like, no, you can't take care of that. You
I
tell yourself, like,
that's awesome. That's awesome to hear that from a woman, because I know.
We be strong to a fault.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You can't even let somebody like do something for you. I see it all the time. I got strong friends.
Man, I'm talking about. I'm like, hey man, just move out the way and give me time.
Yeah, but then you take it. But can you do it now?
Yeah, they wanted that day.
This is the time that I've set in my head. I need for it to be done.
And I just saw somebody talking about this, right? And they were talking about women have a time set up in their head when they want shit to be done, and not even have a talk with the man about the time that they want it to be done.
This is my key thing.
And he don't even know.
Babe, when you get a chance, can you? He already know. Let me just do it now. Or if he doesn't get up, but my daddy also taught me, don't wait on somebody. So then I can do it.
I'm going to tell you what you just got out of that too. You're learning, and I tell people this all the time. Women, I'm like, you gotta learn how to manipulate me too to get what you want out of me. So it's a way you can talk to me and use me to get what you want, but you just got to know how to use that.
Right.
You got, because you just said it. You was like, well, whenever you get time, that's your way of you, and he gets it.
Yes, he does.
You know what I'm saying? You and your person get it. You're like, all right, now I need to move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with that.
But I love that guy. He loves me. We have a really good. We had a really good thing going. And I stopped, throughout this journey, you can always look at your spouse or your partner and say what they can't do. I started looking at all the things that he does beautifully.
Awesome. And
once I started doing that, and once I stopped actively trying to change someone else, when I changed myself, then my eyes opened up to more beautiful things, because you can't tell nobody to change. What you doing to you? What are you doing to help you become a better person? So I am doing things to help me become better. So then my eyes are different. So I see him for all the beautiful things that he does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the black love. So give me one word to describe your journey.
If I had to say one word, I would say fascinating. Because, doing interviews like this, you get the opportunity to talk about your life, but then have almost like an out-of-body experience, an aerial view of all the things that you've been able to do. And I can say that my life has truly been fascinating. I was just talking to my acting coach, voice coach. I do voiceovers as well. And she's much more of she's a spiritual guide as well. Like, she prays for me. She sends me verses, all of that. And we pray together and we just talk. And I called her in tears, like probably a month ago, and I posted about it on Instagram. I was like, if God said, no more TV, no more this, no more that, if I can just have enough, and my girls, my husband is good, and my girls are good, and I was like, I'm good. Like, one of them gospel songs, like, if God never did one more thing for me, I am so good. I'm so I'm so good. And because I've lived so many different lives in a span of 50 years that some people can only dream of.
Mm-hmm.
Just like one portion of my life. They're like, I always wanted to do that. And some people say, may never be able to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to leave this world empty. That everything that God placed on my heart or that He wants me to do, I want to be able to at least have made an effort to get it done. Because if God placed it on your heart, how dare you not try? You got to at least try to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, looking back on everything that I've done, if I leave this place, God forbid, because I really want more life. If something happened to me, I'm like, dang, what a fascinating life.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
What I've been listening to here today on the sofa, I would absolutely
We've only scratched the
say
surface too.
Yeah.
And we've been in here over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
We've only scratched the surface of all the things that I've been able to experience in this life. So yeah, fascinating. I've never used that word, but I think that in this space that I'm in, this spiritual body that I have,
I like it.
I love that word. It's been fascinating.
Yeah,
what a fascinating life.
Do you still talk to any of your original cast members?
Which show?
Radio.
Oh yeah, I talk to Akini every day.
Mm-hmm.
Me and CJ, I'll be with CJ next week. Griff and I talked for over an hour about at the beginning of January. Who else? Tanya Clackham, also known as Beyonce Aloysius. We always stay in touch. We always tap into each other. And Cersei and I worked together for a little while on the 18 Morning Show. Just spoke to him not too long ago. But of course, like I said earlier in the discussion in the chat, that Ryan and I talk often. But I talk to Akini the most. Me and Akini probably talk every day. Still.
When it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want people to say, she did that really well. And that is life.
Mm-hmm.
I want my dash to count.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to, any interaction. I made a promise to God when I was Left Eye's assistant. That God, when you give me the platform, I want to use it like you intended for it to be used.
Like that.
This lady at the hairdresser today at the salon, she was like, I've met you a few times. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. She was like, oh no, every time is pleasant. I said, that's always the goal.
That's a testimony.
Yeah.
That's a testimony.
Yeah.
For real.
Every time is pleasant. Because I'm not going to remember every person that I meet. That's unfair for my brain. And we may have a whole kick it session. And I may, 3-4 months down the line, I may forget your name. But did we have fun? I want people to say, she is who she says she is. I never changed it up. I'm still the same girl from 3200 Hall at Southwest DeCab than I am when I'm in Tyler Perry Studios. I am the same person. Ask anybody that has ever met me and known me from here to here. I was just at Vibes on the east side. Walked in that mud like, boy, this is like an old school Southwest party. And was kicking it with my folks, with my people. Because my homegirl Miracle had a birthday party. It was my folks in there. Like my people that I rock with from the time I was 15. I'm still her. And when I get that award, that international award on TV, because I can see it in my head, you think I ain't gonna say Decatur, Georgia?
All day. You do it every time. I'm gonna give you a prime example why you are that. Because you ain't gonna remember these parties that we had. This had to be when you was, maybe you still radio, was New Year's. Y'all used to do the New Year's parties at the hotel. Mm-hmm. And my partner's birthday is on New Year's. So I think you did it 2-3 years straight.
Oh, you talking about
New Year's Eve party at the hotel.
Yeah, that was
the dress up.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah, NYE and the ATL. My homeboy Rob. Yeah.
Look, so I used to get my folks, and we would get a room there, and we would party with you every New Year's all night long.
I did that for about 5 years.
We did that 3 years straight.
Yeah,
with
them
you.
parties was. I love those parties. You know why I love those parties? Because it was everyday people in them.
Yep.
It was nothing. Wasn't nobody like I didn't want to dance. No. Them people were in them ballrooms at about a smooth 9:30.
Lit.
Ready.
Lit.
Okay. that's why I loved doing those parties. I loved hosting those parties until I was like, all right, okay, I'm good now.
Yeah.
They call me every year, like Robin Moby, like, you don't want to come back? I'm like, no, I'm good. You know, you just eventually, just not outgrow, but it's just like, you know.
I get it. We had a good 3-year run.
I had a good 5-6 year run, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I like being with the people.
Yeah, you do.
I would get out there and then the crowd, be like, turn up with the microphone and I go back up on stage. Like, I just always wanted people to understand that you never get too big to do the little things. And you never forget where you came from. I will never forget my foundation.
Let me ask you this. If you had to pick one song to represent Atlanta.
That's
And the soul and the spirit of Atlanta. Or Decatur. We go Decatur. I'll make it easier for you. If you had to pick a song to represent the soul and the spirit of Decatur.
Come on now.
I don't know what it's going to be. I know what it's going to be. Straight from the deck.
From the deck.
That is too easy.
You see Tip using that in his new album.
Yeah.
I was like,
We heard it. Wicked let us hear it about how long ago, Swat?
Yeah.
Last April.
Oh,
so we knew the song was coming. Wicked said,
I don't know how to feel about it.
Look, me and Wicked was sitting these out. I said, what if they don't use something? I said, shit, I'm going to release that motherfucker.
But just for that to even, be thought of, like, by Tip and his team and all that, like, of course, that is such a legendary song. Of course, I got it straight from the deck. Because it was just so perfect because...
Yes. It was. It's hard to redo that.
Yeah.
It's hard to redo that.
Yeah, that's just, it's a legendary song.
It's a whole.
So straight from the deck, I love being from Decatur.
Huh? Wicked is gonna love it. But I will give you a little insight.
What?
DC Young Fly probably wasn't supposed to be the person singing on there.
Oh, really?
A guy named CeeLo Green was supposed to sing. But I'm gonna just leave that out there for the people. We're gonna leave that alone.
Really?
I got a little inside. With Decatur shit. Yeah, I got a little inside. But yeah, man, that's a hard one to redo.
Man, that is. I hope it does well because I always want to see people win. But that one right there, it's like some songs don't need to be touched.
They don't. I agree with you.
Some songs just don't need to be touched.
Agree with you.
They just don't. And I can say that with all love, and I'll probably still be singing the new one, you know what I'm saying, and rapping to what they do. But that right there, that song is just one of them songs, one of them ones, as they would say back in the day.
I knew you West Side niggas wanted to be from the East Side.
Stop. They know what it is, though. That was.
So let me ask you this: Who are your foremost influential radio personalities in Atlanta?
Oh, for me? Oh, of course, me.
For you,
Ryan Cameron is number one. You got your Carol Blackman.
Ooh, I was in love with Carol Blackman. We had to talk about
Miss Carol still fine.
She's still fine. We was going on a field trip to V103. I was like,
yes.
Yeah. Who said I was gonna get beat up by Carol Blackman's husband? Who was that? He said
Joyce Littell. That's my soul.
Joyce Littell. Quiet Storm.
See, the Quiet Storm. She still has the velvety voice.
Yes.
And I can name so many people, and I have so much love for so many people, but one of the best, I said Ryan, Carol Blackman, one of the best people I have ever met, most solid people I have ever met in my life is Greg Street.
He is too. Greg has never not picked up the phone for me. Greg has never not brought me. You right.
Solid.
That's a good list.
Solid across the board.
Because you named two people that were unsung that need to be named, which was Carol Blackman and Joyce Littell.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to, and a lot of people always forget them.
Yes.
So I like that.
Yeah. So I have respect for it. I know
you do.
That list for me could
go on and on.
So I'm saying this right now. If you didn't hear your name, no, I love you. Mm-hmm. But it's just so many great. I'm talking about real personalities now, real radio personalities. Because this is everybody not a radio personality.
Ooh, now that we touched on
I'm
that,
not doing that though.
No, we ain't gonna say no name. Tell me I wasn't gonna say no name. Tell me the difference between a radio personality and just a DJ per se.
Well, I mean, the radio personality has to be able to. It's a whole thing. It's not just playing the next song. It's like, who are you? Ryan taught me that early in the business. Like you gain trust with the community by being in it. Mm-hmm. Greg Street can name the lunch lady at Sandtown Middle School. Mm-hmm. To this day, he can name that. But I teach people, I taught, radio personalities that came behind me, like, make sure you're in that community. Mm-hmm. The community will never lead you astray. I have people who are grown women with their own children say, I remember when you came to my class when I was in the 3rd grade, mm-hmm. and they never forget that. I was at an AKA convention. I went to this young lady's class when she was in the 3rd grade. And she was like, I want to be in, STEM. I want to do in science, technology, and all these things. And she stopped me. We happened to sit together at an AKA convention here in Atlanta in 2016. She was like, when we leave this particular seminar, I need to talk to you. She pulled me to the side. I was like, what's going on? She was like, I just want to say that when I was 8 years old, you came to my class and you told me that I could do anything that I wanted to do, especially in science. So I wanted to tell you that I'm going to dentistry school. Great. She was going to become a doctor.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So I hear those types of stories all the time from people who I'm speaking life into them, and people never forget those moments. They never forget those moments, how you made them feel. And I know that's an assignment from God for me to be able to have those moments and have had those moments that people never forget. But did I do what God wanted me to do in that moment? And 99 times out of 100, I certainly did. That's and that awesome. 0.0001 must have been when my cycle was on. I don't know. But that's very rare. It's very rare. You can ask, I have full confidence you can ask anybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this for the people. Give me a song that people won't expect to be in your playlist.
Well, right now, I've really been listening to a lot of Christian contemporary music. I know. Seriously, I have. And it has been some of the most...
Give an artist.
Chandler Moore. He used to be with Maverick City Music. Yeah. He moved from Maverick City Music and now he's doing his own thing. I actually went to a concert at a church in Decatur.
I hear on that Christian rock.
I am. I really am. It's just been... this journey that I spoke about has really led me to open up my world to different, and I can only give God the credit for that, because I would have never tapped into certain things. I'm looking at different pastors on, in church, on Sundays, and go to YouTube. I look at Pastor Darius at Change Church, and I look at Mike Michael, not Mike Todd, but Mike Jr. And I'll look at certain things. And so at Change Church, they were singing the song. The praise team was singing God, I'm Just Grateful, which is Chandler Moore's new single. And so I was like, who is this? So I looked up the songs. A lot of the praise teams, they're going to sing songs. I started looking at them and I was like, oh, that's Buddy that just left Maverick. But I started just listening to the music. So I looked on Spotify. I was like, where he going to be? And I was like, I'm going to buy a ticket to go see
Oh, that's dope.
him it was at a church in Decatur. And I took myself and I went and I just praised God. It was him and Anthony Evans Sr., another Christian artist. But it's very surprising. That is where my world has taken me. And I've always wanted, I wrote songs back in the day. I wrote my first, our first dance song for our wedding. I used to write with, I remember Pooh Bear, who's an incredible writer. He took one of my poems and made a song. And, I used to write a little bit, right? And so now I see myself like, what if my writing will take me into the Christian world? I don't know.
That would be dope.
I don't know where God has taken me. And I think because of my sobriety, it's opened up my world to different things that I didn't know was even there. So what if those things are going to be married in a way? I don't know where God has taken me. And that's why I'm being, when you said, so what you working on next? And I said, me, when people ask me that, because, creatives hate being asked that question. First of all, you know that, right?
I do know that. Yeah.
I don't know where, but I
don't know where either. Yeah,
exactly. So I
agree.
do feel like God is saying it's going to be in that space, a safe space for people who are trying to change whatever thorn that is. Mine was drinking, right? At the time. And I would call myself a functional. I don't like using the A word because I don't want to.
I do. I'm a functional alcoholic.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Right. And so I needed to change that up, but everybody got their thorns. So I'm not going to be out here like, you know what? You don't need to be doing that. That ain't going to be me. Because it could be lust for some people. It could be women, men. It could be overspending. It could be procrastination. Everybody got a thorn.
And you're going to turn somebody off when you do that and they ain't going to listen to you.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why God had to put me in all these different spaces so the approach can be cool. Because the thing is, everybody got something they dealing with.
Yep. 1,000%.
And mine was that. Again, the next person could be, but everybody, God tapping you on your shoulder about something you got to change, right? Everybody got it. If you've changed it or you have been procrastinating the change.
I'm with you.
I am showing you the person that used to be like, as soon as I walked in the spot, hey, who got the shots? What we doing? You know, I'm that. And I'm saying, that person was cool, but that person became so dependent on that moment that I had to change that, right? Okay. Now, if I can still do it and be okay, that's just not my journey right now. That's not where I was and where I needed to change. But I am living example that you actually can live a life for me without it and still be present. I was not present because that was on top of my mind. It was my God.
I got you.
Everybody got different idols that they dealing with. So I want to be the message that whatever it is, there is so much beauty on the other side of that thorn. If you are willing to take the walk. And walking with God it's not an easy task. But baby, I don't want to be anywhere else but this. I do not want to be outside of God's will for my life. I don't want to do Rashan's will anymore.
I got you.
Because look at all those disobedient blessings. Imagine the blessings that I can get being obedient to God's call in my life. If that was good, I can't imagine what's next.
I think you was obedient then. It's just a little
It was just a different. You're right. I will say that. I don't want to say that I was just walking around and saying, no.
You still doing his work. Out of all those testimonies you told me, that's God's fucking work.
That is. And thank you for correcting that. So I don't want to say it like that, but surrendering to that. What I done, and it's a daily walk. It's you got to make sure I'm in places where I'm like, all right, do they have non-alcoholic champagne? Do they have THC seltzers? You know what I mean? Like, you know,
you got to know yourself.
You have to know yourself, and that's the thing too. I remember this girl, and I got to wrap because I got to run.
Quick
girl,
little rapid
hold on,
fire.
real quick. I gotta say this. There's another director, who she's younger than me, and she's been sober from alcohol for 5 years. And when I started my journey, I inboxed her. I DM'd her. I was like, man, thank you so much for being an example. She was like, thank you. But key phrase she said to me, don't stop before the miracles come.
That's dope.
There was so much weight in that because we do give up before we see the fruit of the surrender. I'm still walking and seeing the miracles of healing my relationship with my daughters, healing my relationship with my husband, because I had a lot of missteps. We ain't talking about my missteps of being in the world, like entertaining, other things. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
We know this business, this entertainment world will throw so much at you. And for me to even be still this good girl, essentially, you know what I mean?
I got you.
With everything that I could have done, but still enough to have destroyed everything.
That's a strong will.
Yeah.
That's strong will. Because you're right. You got everything is at arm's reach for you at certain times.
I could have it all. If I really wanted to, I could have it all.
So I get that.
In the wrong way.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I gotta get this. I gotta get this in. I gotta get this rapid fire in.
Okay, let's go.
So check it out. 112 jagged edge. Come on. Shit, it's gonna be tough. This shit ain't easy.
Done, what are you thinking? 112.
112.
Yeah. I love you, Jay Ito. East side all day.
You right. Cal, my nigga. Gucci man or Jeezy?
Jeezy. I'm a Jeezy fan.
Okay.
I love you, Gucci.
Better producer, JD or Lil Jon?
JD.
All right. Better album, Soul Food.
I don't like better.
That's what it is today.
Okay, go ahead.
Better album, Soul Food or AT Aliens?
Oh my God.
I know what it is for me.
Soul food.
Yep. All right. Escape TLC.
Well, there's two different genres of music to me. TLC.
Okay. Greg Street, Frank Ski.
No. What'd you say?
Greg Street, Frank Ski.
That's two different artists. That's two different personalities.
That's all that's fine and dandy. We're going to have to pick one. yeah, they're supposed to be easy out there.
Oh my God, I don't know about that. That's tough. I mean, I guess Greg, just because, but I'm close to Frank too.
They both gonna love you. It's just a rapid fire.
Just different. I'm gonna say Greg probably just for personal reasons.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So better lyrics is Jay-Z or Andre 3000?
Dre.
There you go.
Jay-Z's great.
No, you gotta stick with it. Stick with it. Yeah.
Dre.
All right. Better wings, Dugans or JR Crickets?
Dugans.
Oh yeah, I know what you're gonna say on there. These next two easy. Best skating ring, Golden Glide or Sparkles?
Oh, Golden Glide.
Best high school, you're gonna be wrong. It's Southwest DeKalb or Columbia.
Why is that even the same?
We all know it's Columbia, but go ahead. Go ahead.
The Panthers.
The Panthers. Okay. So tell the people what you got going on.
Me, I told you what I got going on.
I still got to say. So what I mean by that,
I know.
Tell them where they can reach you at. That kind of stuff.
Yes, of course. Well, I am. So I currently, for the third year in a row, I am the voiceover artist for the Home Depot Retail Year School. So I've done some commercials and stuff for Pepsi and all that kind of stuff. But you can find me at Rashan Ali everywhere. RASHANALI. That's it. Because I wanted to be clean across the brand. No dots, no I's on the Facebook or the TikTok and all. It's Rashan Ali.
Well, while you're here, I got to say this part, man. I want to give you flowers. You've been one of the legends in the game, man. You've done a lot for the community. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you coming to the show, and I love you. And this has been an awesome experience.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I enjoyed my time here.
I appreciate you. And this has been another episode of Atlanta Coaches Podcast. We out. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.